very good afternoon to you and thank you for joining us on BeeTv News at 12. I am Ruth Obodo and now the news in detail. The Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty, has intervened in the crisis rocking market leadership, otherwise known as Iye Eki in Benin. At the palace of the Benin monarch on Thursday, the Reverend Benin monarch Oba Ewari II directed some of the market women who have been imposing themselves on the traders and claiming
the directive of the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedu Kwakpolokpolo Ewai II, to all market women to be present at the palace for the resolution of lingering Iyeki matter that has been creating serious tension across Benin markets. Several market women and their leaders converged at the Oba's palace on Thursday to listen to the royal pronouncement. The meeting had in attendance representatives from over 61 markets across Benin City, including Ekioba, Ekiosa, Oka Market, Idogbo, Agbado, Ekiolia, and many others. Addressing the gathering on behalf of the Oba of Benin, Chief Osaro Oida, the Oba Zelu of Benin Kingdom, called out all the Iyekis from the various markets in
Yanga Market, Ugbo, Olia.
The Oba Zelu of Benin Kingdom, Chief Osaro Ida, stated that for those Iyeki whose positions were not under dispute, the Oba directed them to continue overseeing their respective markets peacefully and in accordance with palace directives. He added that arrangements will be made for them to return to the palace at a later date for the former transitional rights and confirmation as Iyeki. Chief Osaro Ida further conveyed another royal directive to various markets where there were disputes over the Iyeki position. According to him, the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Oba, all those currently involved in the dispute should step aside indefinitely.
Progressive Congress Uyo State chapter has admitted that there is grossing discipline among the various cases of membership and resolved to constitute disciplinary committee to address the issue. This was made known through a communique signed by its state chairman Oladeye Abbas and other major stakeholders in the party at the end of its leadership summit in Ibadan. It emphasized that some notable leaders and elected office holders had found of engaging in acts capable of sabotaging the party, while also condemning that they describe as a terrible condition of the 33 local governments under the present administration in the states.
We hereby resolve that State Executive, under the chairmanship of Alhaji Olaide Moshood Abbas, should constitute a disciplinary committee that will be saddled with the responsibilities of
President Emmanuel Macron has asked Sébastien Lecornu to return as French Prime Minister only 4 days after he stood down from the post. Sparkling a week of high drama and political turmoil, Macron made the announcement late on Friday hours after meeting all the main parties together at the LC Palace, except the leaders of the far right and far left. BeeTv News Esoe Osamege has details.
Lecornu's return came as a surprise as he said on national TV only 2 days ago he was not chasing the job and his mission is over. It is not even certain he will be able to form a government, but he will have to hit the ground running. The new Prime Minister faces a deadline on Monday to put next year's budget before Parliament. Lecornu, who is 39 and one of Macron's most loyal allies, then released a long statement on X in which he accepted out of duty the mission himself as a soldier monk, and as he prepared to get to grips with forming a government, he said on Friday that he would do everything to succeed in this mission. Political divisions over how to bring down France's national debt and curb the budget deficit have led to the fall of 2 of the past 3.
If the President of the Republic and his Prime Minister choose not to listen, then we have no reason to bow to their wishes.
Badella said his party would immediately bring a vote of no confidence against a doomed coalition. His only reason for being was fear of an election. National Rally is currently leading in the polls. Esohe Oseneki, reporting for BeeTv News.
First Lady Melania Trump says Russia President Vladimir Putin responded to a letter of concern about the child victims of the Russia-Ukraine war. She made the announcement on Friday, saying that after an open channel of communication with Putin, Ukrainian children displaced in the war have been reunited with families. The First Lady's peace letter was hand-delivered to Putin during his Alakasa visit in August. BeeTv News' Esoe Osamege has details.
President Donald Trump shared part of the letter on social media. In it, the First Lady pleads with Putin to protect children, writing that doing so will do more than serve Russia alone and will serve humanity itself. Of the 8 children, the First Lady said 3 separated from their families were displaced to Russia because of frontline fighting. Another young girl displaced by the conflict has now been returned from Ukraine to Russia. The children's reunification with their families was facilitated by both Ukraine and Russia, the First Lady said, adding that she was given a detailed report with photographs and the identities and circumstances of each child. The U.S. government confirmed the fact. Mrs. Trump says she has learned a lot about this matter since a letter was first handed to Putin. She said he responded in writing. In her letter, the First Lady wrote, every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, the dream of love, possibility and safety. In her advocacy for children, campaign focused around the well-being of children globally. Earlier this year, the First Lady led an initiative for Congress to pass a bill banning revenge porn called the Take It Down Act. After the bill was signed, she said it was a powerful statement that we stand united in protecting the dignity, privacy and safety of our children. Soher Osemege reporting for BeeTv News.
Residents of Erioke in Osun State have appealed to the federal government to immortalize former Nigeria High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Christopher Kolowawode, who died on Thursday. The report.
Newsmen visited his hometown to guard the mood of the people. Through a rural community, residents were seen mourning and discussing his passing, describing it as a great loss to the nation, who had clear visions and genuine dreams for Nigeria, been a strong advocate for ethical leadership and governance.
Committed to the progress of the country entirely, because he worked mostly for the federal government, either as a broadcaster or as High Commissioner.
Dr. Christopher Kolade, he will never, when he was in a position to compromise, he would never, irrespective of whose ox might be God in the process. And thank God, what we have been hearing since his demise yesterday points to
will be brought home for burial. Favor Kolawole reporting for BeeTv News.
19 people are missing after a blast at a military explosive manufacturing facility in Tennessee on Friday. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis said 4 or 5 people were taken to a nearby hospital after the enormous explosion that leveled a factory and that several had disease. BeeTv News Temitope Oluwafemi has
meters southwest of Nashville, specializes in the development, manufacture, handling and storage of explosives. The cause of the blast remains unclear. Airy video from the scene showed charred debris, smoldering vehicles and little remaining of the facility, which is owned by Accurate Energetic Systems. Sheriff Davis, who was visibly emotional during his first media briefing of the day, declined to say exactly how many people died, but he noted that the plant had been up and running when the explosion happened and that the secondary blast forced first responders to keep their distance from the site. During a second briefing hours later, Davis confirmed that 19 people were still unaccounted for and that the explosion happened in a large building. It flung debris across half-square mile, he added. This was a massive enough explosion, that I can tell you, that folks in Waverly felt and heard this explosion, he said, referring to a town about 15.5 miles, 25 kilometers northwest of the facility. Davis declined to answer whether
the Nigeria Labour Congress has proposed the introduction of a tax on the profits of technology companies and automated industries to finance large-scale retraining and upskilling programs for workers affected by artificial intelligence. Let's join BeeTv News Temitope Oluwafemi for details and more from Business World.
NLC President Joe made the call at the 2025 conference of the Labour Writers Association of Nigeria held in Ibadan. He warned that the growing adoption of AI by corporations could lead to increased worker exploitation, job displacement, and inequality. Ajero emphasized the need for proactive measures to safeguard employment and strengthen labor rights in the evolving digital economy. The conference focused on the future of work in the era of artificial intelligence, with discussions centered on protecting workers and promoting equitable adaptation to technological change. FGEU partner to deploy European digital governance model. The federal government has announced plans to adopt a European-style model of digital governance with support from the European Union, EU. The initiative involves deploying the X-Road system, an open-source digital infrastructure used. He noted that despite enforcement efforts by the NCC and the Office of the National Security Advisor, vandalism and regulatory inconsistencies continue to impair broadband rollout. The Commission called for a stronger collaboration among stakeholders to protect digital infrastructure, citing broadband as a critical driver of Nigeria's economic growth. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has revealed that fewer than 50 compressed natural gas (CNG) stations are currently operational across Nigeria, despite the government's push for
its rule for export of rare earths, accusing China of becoming very hostile and trying to hold the world captive. He threatened to pull out of a meeting with China's President Xi Jinping. He later said he had not cancelled it, but that he did not know that we are going to have it. Financial markets dropped in steepest fall since April. China dominates production of rare earths and certain other key materials, which are essential components in cars, smartphones, and many other items. The last time Beijing tightened export controls, after Trump raised tariffs on Chinese goods early this year, there was an outcry from many U.S. firms reliant on the materials. Car maker Ford even had to turn investigation into the U.S. tech firm Qualcomm that could stall its acquisition of another chip maker. Although Qualcomm is based in the U.S.
And now to the entertainment news. Award-winning Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage has expressed dissatisfaction over what she perceives as inadequate recognition for her contributions to the music industry. Speaking on the off-air show, the Afrobeat star said she often feels overlooked despite her achievements and influence on the global Afrobeat movement. Also, Moody Blues bassist John Lodge dies at 82. Let's join BeeTv News Evening Izibili for details and more from the entertainment world.
The singer explained that constant comparison and criticism have sometimes overshadowed genuine appreciation for female artists' milestones. Nonetheless, she acknowledged the progress made by younger musicians and commended stars like Arya Star, Thames, and Tanzanian artist Diamond Platnumz for promoting African music on the global stage. Savage expressed hope that future generations of female artists will receive due recognition and not face the same challenges she encountered in her career. Senator Ned Nwoko has gifted his wife, Nollywood actress Regina Daniels, a new diamond ring to replace her missing wedding ring. The gesture took place during Regina's 24th birthday celebration, where she proudly displayed the new ring. Nwoko shared a video of the moment on social media, accompanied by a message explaining that while the loss of the original ring had gained public attention, the true value of the replacement lay in the love and bond it symbolized.